Welcome everyone to this masterclass explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're tuning in today because we're about to completely shatter some of the most stubborn fitness industry myths out there. We're tossing out the secret supplements, we're dumping those ridiculous detox teas down the drain, and I'm giving you the no BS guide to building a thick, carved 3D core. If you've been putting in the work and just feeling endlessly frustrated by the lack of progress, trust me, you are in exactly the right place. Okay, let's dive right into this. A staggering 87% of people who train barely get any real results. I mean, just think about that for a second. Most folks are out there grinding, they're eating clean, they're pushing themselves week in and week out, but their physique, it looks like they just signed up for their gym membership yesterday. It's incredibly frustrating, and the core reason, no pun intended, is that they're entirely missing the real formula. Which brings us to the most crucial question of the day. Are you trapped in that endless, super ineffective cycle of doing 200 crunches a day, just kind of hoping a six-pack will magically pop out? So many of us have been there, right? We treat our abs like there's some sort of magical muscle group that somehow operates on completely different biological rules than the rest of our body. Honestly, it's time to stop the madness. To fix this, we need a clear roadmap for today. First, we'll hit the truth bomb. Next, phase 1, gym construction. Followed by phase 2, the kitchen reveal, and we'll wrap it all up with the Armored Titan strategy. Let's jump straight into section 1, the truth bomb, you already have abs. So we need a massive paradigm shift right out of the gate here. I absolutely love this quote from our source material. You already have abs. They're just hiding under that emergency winter fuel tank. Yes, literally, even you already have the muscle tissue. The problem isn't that it doesn't exist, it's that it's currently obscured by an energy surplus, basically a layer of body fat. And here is the hard biological truth. No amount of spot reduction exercises, no 1,000 daily sit-ups, no magical teas will melt that specific patch of fat away. You simply cannot outcrunch physics. All right, let's move to phase 1, gym construction, engineering your core. From now on, we're going to start treating our body like a literal engineering project. We have to stop what the sources call theater lifting. You know what I mean, knocking out 100+ unweighted reps where you're basically just checking a box, feeling a little burn, and calling it a day. It's a complete myth. Think about it. You wouldn't bench press the air for 100 reps and expect your chest to magically grow, right? So we have to stop doing that for our abs. Instead, you need real construction. This means adding external resistance. That could be weights, cables, machines, or significantly harder bodyweight angles, and then applying progressive overload. Your abs need the exact same resistance stimulus as your chest or your back, no exceptions. This brings us to a totally non-negotiable standard, the 5 to 15 rep rule. If you're doing basic bodyweight crunches and you can easily bang out 20 reps without even wanting to cry a little bit, you are no longer providing the stimulus your body needs to grow thick 3D muscle. At that point, you're just building endurance. To carve out that deep, impressive grid, you've got to stay right in this heavy, incredibly challenging 5 to 15 rep range. And this brilliantly illustrates that you do not need 20 different fancy exercises to apply this rule. You only need the big 3. Step 1 for the upper abs is cable crunches. Now, the absolute key here is to actually bend at the spine, curling yourself downward. Please do not just lock your back and swing your upper body down like a lunatic. Step 2 for the lower abs, leg raises, or, knee raises if straight legs are just too tough for you right now. The focus must be on a slow, controlled descent. Keep the tension. And finally, step 3 for the obliques, cable side crunches. These are awesome because they're incredibly easy to load up with heavy weight, and trust me, your obliques will be absolutely screaming. 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps, maybe twice a week. Boom, that is your entire gym blueprint. But yeah, there's a catch here. Intensity. You can have the most perfect exercise selection in the world, but if you're just breezing through your sets like it's a light warm-up, nothing is going to happen. True muscle growth only occurs when you give your muscles a very real reason to adapt. You have to give them a threat they can't easily handle, so they're forced to fight back and grow. That adaptation, it lives entirely in grinding out those final, deeply uncomfortable 2 to 3 reps of your set. So now that we've built the muscle in the gym, we arrive at phase 2, the kitchen reveal, slaying the fat. Now, what's really interesting about this next point, and I need to be super firm here, is that the heaviest, most intense gym sessions in the world will not save you if your primary goal is fat loss. To lose that fat, you simply have to be in a calorie deficit, meaning you eat fewer calories than your body burns. But You do not want to go crazy and starve yourself, because if you do, your body will literally burn away that 3D muscle you just worked so hard to build. The absolute sweet spot here is aiming for a deficit of exactly 15% under your maintenance level. It's totally sustainable, it leaves you enough energy to actually feel your workouts, and it steadily strips away the fat week after week. Which perfectly summarizes this age-old golden rule: abs are made in the gym, but revealed in the kitchen. It's a necessary synergy between the two. You absolutely must construct that thick, muscular grid under the heavy resistance of the cables and weights in the gym, and then you use that 15% calorie deficit to act as your chisel. It slowly, methodically chips away that winter fuel tank so the masterpiece underneath can finally see the light of day. And while your diet is absolutely paramount for creating that deficit, you can actually make the math a little bit easier on yourself. Stacking these gym-based cardio tools, things like treadmills, stationary bikes, and ellipticals, provides an incredibly beginner-friendly way to accelerate your fat loss game. They burn extra calories really safely, which basically allows you to eat just a tiny bit more food while still staying strictly within that 15% deficit zone. It's a win-win. All right, let's move into our final section to really tie all of this together: the Armored Titan strategy, data, and consistency. This is all about the long-term mindset required to transform a decent physique into something that looks like it was carved out of stone. There are 4 non-negotiable pillars here. First, structure. You must follow a real, defined plan. Second, form. Leave your ego at the gym door and master the execution of every single rep. Third, overload. You have to track every lift to ensure you are actually progressing. And fourth, consistency. You have to show up for years, not just weeks. Jumping from random workout to random workout purely on instinct, that will basically guarantee you become part of that 87% who fail. Structured planning beats instinct every single time. Let's laser focus on that third pillar for a second, because it's so critical. The numbers don't lie. If tracking progress is simple, stacking progressive overload is simple. You have to use a logbook, or just the Notes app on your phone. Stop trying to guess what weight you lifted last week. Start knowing. If your cable crunch weight or the number of reps you're hitting isn't climbing over time, your core is not growing. It really is that simple. Small, tracked, incremental wins equal massive long-term gains. And I want to ground everyone right now with this very realistic, honestly kind of tough truth. Building an insane physique is frustratingly slow. You're not going to wake up with your dream results next week. Success in this realm is not about going into crazy beast mode for one weekend and then completely burning out by Wednesday. It is about quiet, persistent execution. It's about showing up, tracking the data, hitting your diet, and doing the boring work for months and years. Which leaves us with this final, genuinely provocative thought. You now have the exact dual strategy blueprint. You know how to build a 3D core in the gym, and you know exactly how to reveal it in the kitchen. The mystery is entirely gone. The only question left on the table is, will you show up long enough for the results to become inevitable? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I truly hope it completely changes how you approach your training. Now go put the work in.